As you're talking, what comes to me is one of the messages of Yeshua around forgiveness and how important it is right now for us in our community and just in the world based on what we're seeing. And that is coming alive to me so much more the more that I allow my heart to experience this presence that is available. And I just wanted to read something. This is from Adyashanti, who originally came from the Buddhist tradition. And it's really about the heart and being available to be with what is. And I'm reading this because this is what I feel is possible with this presence that is available to all of us if we keep letting it in. So he says, all of us feel in the depth of our being, we know. It's not just good enough to feel open and free and at peace when we're left alone or when our environment is very supportive. These things are beautiful and can show us the possibility of freedom. But at an even deeper level, we're all called to express this freedom, openness, and intimacy within the context of relationship. Ultimately, we're going to have to open our heart to the whole world, to everything that's happening in it and everything that has ever happened. We're going to have to open our heart to everything that could possibly happen. Why is that? Because we're not separate from anything and we're not separate from anyone. Anything you consider separate from you can scare and intimidate you. But when you have the willingness to open your heart, to be intimate even with the things you don't like, with the people and events that frighten you, with the state of the world that may intimidate you, then you'll find a way in which the core of you has an avenue through which to express itself. You can express and manifest the very depth of yourself in the outside world so that there's no longer a division between inside and outside, and there's no longer a boundary for our love. There's such depth in his words that whenever I read what comes through him, it's not really about him, it's about the presence that speaks through him and is in all of us. And I feel that too. And it's a powerful invitation for all of us. And it's when I read about him saying to open the heart, it's not a taking on the world saving kind of energy at all. I don't see that as the way he's talking about it. What I feel is his invitation and Divine's invitation and Jesus' invitation to be open and available to what is right in front of us and to notice when we close and notice when we cringe and notice when we judge and to the more awarenesses we have of those closings is just an even bigger invitation to bring more compassion into our heart for ourselves, and that has an impact in ways that we can never possibly imagine. You know, you said earlier just how much self-love, how much this personal love is so important for you in this lifetime, and just anything else you want to share along these lines around forgiveness and staying open.
You know, when you mentioned forgiveness, I had a visual of a bumper sticker I saw on a car once, and it said, forgiveness is letting go of all hope of a different past. And I love that because I have an obsessive mind, and I will attach to worrying and judging and going in a direction I don't want to go in. And if I can let go of wishing it was different and being in the present moment, wow.
It reminds me of recently I've been doing a lot of forgiveness exercises, and I've been revisiting it. I've been doing this for a number of years, but there's something that has been inviting me to go even deeper, as we always can. And I was given this beautiful book about abundance. It was given by Francois, who's in our novice program and a friend of mine, also in FSD. And abundance of joy, abundance of finances, abundance of everything, the larger definition of abundance. And there's a number of affirmations and prayers in this book. And I first looked in this book end of last year when he gave it to me, and I could not read it without feeling a sense of disgust in myself. That there was some of these affirmations I just couldn't get through, and I really prayed about it. And the message I got from my guides, really from the voice of the inner divine within me, was you need to forgive. You need to forgive everyone that you've had judgments about, particularly in these areas of your life, and go deeper than you've ever gone. And so I started that practice about a month and a half ago in ways that I do. We all have different kinds of practices to do that. And I noticed within 3 weeks, I could start reading the affirmations, that they actually weren't just words anymore. They were living, breathing expressions of the divine. that have been planting seeds in my heart and expanding my heart, and in seeing that when I do notice the judgments of other people or folks in my past, it's easier for me to see the pain they were in and to let go of the resentments. That ultimately reminds me of this phrase, as soon as you can perceive the soul in fear and pain, then we can forgive. It's so much more palpable when we could access our own pain and let that go, and we could see the pain in other people and fear, then the forgiveness is then possible because we see what's beyond.